Closer though, make them bigger. Giant. Heck of a lot bigger over here. Oh my gosh, is he on, Maury? Yeah. Yeehaw! Oh, big large. Expert like Maury Hatch cast at a fly behind you because you don't ever have to worry about him hitting you in the head or anything.
Nick, you having fun?
Nah. What's up, guys? Nick here. I got my buddy, the infamous Maury Hatch. Good morning, Maury.
How are you, man?
Now, he is a well-known fly fishing striper guide. Fishes all the rivers in Northern California, but we're in the fall now, so you spend a lot of time on the Delta, right?
Yes, sir.
Like every friggin' day.
5 to 6 days a week, all the way till Christmas.
Fishing more than me. So that being said, what we're gonna do today is a little fly fishing versus conventional. I'm gonna be on conventional gear, though I do know how to dabble in the fly side, not nearly as good as someone like Maury over here. So, we're gonna kind of do that. I've always thought that conventional can definitely outfish the fly in a Delta scenario, but being that I did a video with Maury on the rivers, I almost think that the fly can outfish the stripers, outfish conventional in the rivers just because I've experienced it. But Maury, today we're gonna put it up. I know on conventional gear we can throw a lot bigger lures, so going for the big bad beast, I think conventional is an advantage there. What's your opinion? Without a doubt. You guys can throw those big topwater lures 3 times as far as we can, cover a lot more water. You definitely have the advantage there. This time of year with all the shad in the water, though, sometimes those fish like a small, fast presentation, and I'm hoping to keep up with you. So what we're doing, we're not going for the 10+ pounder. We're gonna look for bird stripers that are following the birds around, the birds are following the bait around. We're looking for those keeper class, and right around that keeper class, we're looking for that 18 to 25 inch range, and we're gonna see how that compares. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be going crazy, trying to run the score up on Maury, and I'm sure he's planning on doing the same thing, so hang with us, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and hopefully we don't get our butts kicked. Oh, I can't wait to give it a good shot. All right, guys, stay with us. All right, guys, so we're fishing the Stockton area of the Delta today, and we're running out looking for these birds. You can probably see the white birds in the background right here, but on the other side where the sun's in the lens, there's a bunch of white birds. We rolled up and we're starting on about 150, 200 feet outside of the action. We're kind of wanting to drift. The incoming tide's about to start, and it should slightly push us in. We want to stay off the trolling motor as much as possible. Maury's getting ready, I'm getting ready. I think we're gonna whack them. This morning I'm throwing a pink and white Clouser style fly, emulating a shad. In the morning I like to start with a pink and white fly, and the only reason I use that is because the fish like it. So, and Nick's already on. Oh, and he's off. In the fly fishing world, we call that a swing and a miss. All right, guys, I'm starting off with a smaller D-blade right here. It's a little stouter. It's like a 40 gauge wire instead of a 38, which is a little bit better recoil for stripers. It's got like a 3L hook on there, and I'm using a smaller fluke as the trailer. It's just a tandem gold and nickel. Little overcast days, gold is great on the Delta, and clear skies, that nickel is another great combination to throw. So the real benefit here is we have intermittent cloud cover, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. And one thing I'm trying to do, since the stripers are busting and it's slick out, a spinnerbait works well when it's windy and choppy. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to wake it to where it's gonna break up that light penetration a little bit to where they won't get as good of a look. They'll see mostly my trailer and my skirt flaring out. And I'll tap the surface every now and then with my blades like that to make it look like a wounded shad to try to trigger those fish into committing. Stripers are insanely fast at coming up, looking, and rejecting your bait. It's a rat fest. So it's actually 2-0. Got one on a jerk bait. I'm going for the trailer fish. What do we got? Jerk bait fish. Oh, did you change lures? Yeah. So when it got a little bit tougher, the birds moved away from us. I got a decent one here. What do we got? Okay. I'm on. Maury's on. Back to Nick. There we go. bring them up next to Maury's. Let's bring them up next to Maury's.
Oh, he got me.
Size difference. They're just slight size difference. But the single hook versus the treble hooks, he'll be able to get his off way faster than I will. I'm down here doing surgery. Once they get real hot and fiery and they're busting all over the place, I like to switch over to single hook presentations just so I can get them off faster and get on another fish.
That's 4 if you're counting at home.
4-1. Uh-oh.
This time of year when the stripers have these shad pinned against tule berms and against rock walls, the fly angler can really get after them as far as numbers go. And this is one of my favorite times of year. The fish aren't big, but a lot of action, a lot of fish to the boat.
Spinnerbait striper. Now here's the ease, and your wife's probably not gonna like this, and you may not even like this either, but this type of clothes I'm wearing right here doesn't actually wreck their slime coat. It's a, this is an AFCO style shirt right here. I gotta read exactly what it is, but it'll make you stinky. But it saves me from getting hooks caught in my wrist and everywhere else. When I can pin the striper, you can hold them down against the deck, but a lot of the time your deck carpet's a lot more abrasive, or you can keep them outside the boat and try to get them off. But stripers shake around and jerk around so much, you need to take utmost precaution to not get them to drive a hook in you. And I'll show you right here on my leg. Yesterday, I ripped a treble hook out of my leg that, even trying to be cautious, one came up and drove a hook into my leg. So it can happen no matter how experienced you are. Just be careful, stay calm, take your time, and you probably won't get hooked. But if you're like me, you get reckless and don't take your time when you're out here all the time, you get used to it and you can make a mistake.
Attention Northern California anglers, have you been to Boat Country in Ripon? With one of the largest selections of aluminum boats in the valley, from North River, Hughescraft, and Crestliner, chances are they have the right boat for you. And they also have a full-on service center to take care of all your maintenance or repair needs. If you're a boat owner or just looking to become one, you owe it to yourself to check these guys out. Visit BoatCountryUSA.com or stop on by. We'll see you there. Hey guys, did you know that Yours Truly is now hosting Lucky Tackle Box's monthly panfish instructionals? And aside from relentless fish catching, I'll be breaking down the rigging and the gear you need to get going along the way. And of course, a few extra tips to help you score more fish on the goodies included in your box. So remember, the tug is our drug. So go visit LuckyTackleBox.com and get signed up today. Bigger, better, badder. The evolution of the buzzbait is upon us. The Evolution Baits Grass Burner is a high-performance bass snatcher machine. High-end components, inline displacement, larger profile, balanced body for fast or slower retrieves, better deflection, and oversized treble hooks. You wouldn't bring a slingshot to a gunfight, would you? Find out more at evolutionbaits.com.
A little better.
This time of year I'm doing a fast strip with lots of pauses. Strip, pause, strip, 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 pause, strip, pause. Really acted like a wounded shad. So this is just a little pink and white shad imitation. I tied on a Umpqua U series hook. It's a nice thick wire, doesn't bend, stays sharp, and it works real well. I think the lateral line and the two different colors, dorsal versus ventral, are more important than the actual color itself. But every morning I like to start with a pink and white, and then later on we'll move over to a chartreuse or an olive over white.
All right guys, got one on the Pencil 110. Now this is a little largemouth, and the nice part is in the East Delta, Stockton Delta area, where a lot of these stripers are pushing up, they're not really in the big water too often. They're a lot in these tighter sloughs, and the benefit of that is they push the bait into the shore and they fire up the largemouth, and Maury is hooked up right behind the boat.
Kinda. Aggressive babies. So that's about a 13-inch striper.
So I was just throwing a swim bait before the jerk bait. I was throwing a big glide bait. We'll let him blow his load out there. And I was throwing big glide baits. Had one big one come up after it, but they're just not committing. The sun's kind of breaking through the clouds. It's a little slick calm. This is why more of a natural looking bait, like a jerk bait, where they're not getting a good look at it or the fly is catching them really well. A lot of the harder baits, when the wind's blowing or a little bit more overcast and they're not getting a look, it's gonna have a little bit better commitment. So I picked the jerk bait back up because it got a little slick calm, sun peeked out. Got another fish right here. I think Maury's like 6 to 2 or 6 to 3 on me right now. Somewhere right around there. But we'll see if we can even the score. I'm gonna keep committing. I know I'll go on like a 20 cast rally.
It's early.
We got a little fighter there, Maury.
Yes, sir.
Got a little fighter there.
Little fighter.
That's a little fighter there. A little bit better for what we've been getting this morning.
He came up and ate that rattleclouser.
Rattleclouser. Yeah, I bet you he's close to 18.
Nice looking fish.
I'm gonna say that might possibly be the first keeper of the day.
I'll take him.
I'm gonna go first keeper fly.
Water's really dirty in here. I think that rattle's really helping me out here.
There's a chatterbait fish. This is a white jackhammer with a Keitech trailer. And he got it real good. Now, even though the suns came out, the current started flowing back in real heavy. And there we go. Adios amigo. Whoa. And it's like 3/4 ounce. So in the harder current, I can keep it down. It's like a 4-inch Keitech style right there. It's like a Bass Pro Shops, I think, model of that, but looks real shad-like, real weedless as long as you keep the chatterbait on the move. Throwing it up in that shallow current. A lot of the better stripers that you're gonna get in the East Delta are eating other stripers, and they're usually in less than 2 to 3 foot deep of water. You get out over that deeper water, you're gonna see a lot of the fish boiling, and you'll just keep catching the small ones and keep catching the small ones. But if you get in shallower water, a lot of the time it kind of puts it on an even playing field for the slightly better striper to compete with that small striper, because those little ones are crazy fast, and in that open water they seem to always beat the bigger fish to it for some reason. Not saying it's impossible, but usually if you stay in less than 3 foot of water, you're gonna have pretty good odds. And you can see a lot of these back eddies coming around here. Perfect spot for bait to get pinned up in, for stripers to come in and pick them all off. Oh God! Oh, that was over 8. That was a big one. I'm not sure what happened. I just lost probably a striper 7-8 pound range. I was throwing over the top of this little island and bringing it through. He smashed it. That was a big one. He went running around the backside of the Tules and came off. But that was the best one I've hooked here in a couple days. For the East Delta, something over 5 pounds is pretty hard to come by. And that guy, he was definitely over 5 pounds. He was ripping down a lock drag, and this is 13 pounds of drag, so he was pulling. Double. There we go. Yeehaw! So what I did to keep up with Maury on these slick, calm conditions and sun out is I had to go more natural. Now, in that shallow water, it got real dirty, like too dirty. After hooking the big one, the tide kept moving in. So I grabbed the live target shad right there. The dorsal fin works as a weed guard. And I'm basically using it like a wake bait, bringing it right under the surface to create a ripple. Looks extremely natural, 15-pound fluorocarbon line. About as natural as you can get in regards to lures thrown on conventional gear.
He's a little heavier.
He's not bad. I'll explain something to you guys too. I'm actually throwing this on my Sticks hybrid rod. Hook still got him, or did he swallow my tail? Swallow the tail. I'm throwing it on a Sticks hybrid rod, and this rod's a medium power, almost medium heavy, but medium power, and it's got a relatively soft tip. And the reason for that, stripers have this tendency of wounding, turning around, and coming back and eating. They'll come up and hit, and a lot of the time they'll grab a swim bait, and if the rod, if you got a soft enough tip on it, it'll feel like the fish is trying to escape, and then they'll suck it down and get it. A lot of guys throwing like swim bait style like this like a fast action rod. I don't. I like a moderate fast. It just allows the fish to eat it a little bit better. You know, they got to come up on that to get over that little beefier hook. Here we go. Made us a location change. Jumped up to one of Maury's spots. Now, if you guys don't know, Maury actually is a guide for fly fishing, in case I forgot to mention that. So if you want to get out here with Maury, like you should, if you've never fly fished, it's a really cool thing to try out. And yeah, that definitely looks like a keeper. I'll make sure to link all Maury's guide information and I'll put a link to his website and Facebook and whatever else he's got up there.
It's a 4-pounder.
4-pounder? 4-younder? You got a 4-younder, Maury?
A 4-pounder, maybe 4.5.
That's a 4-younder. Oh, almost. Come here. How light's your line? Here.
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. I'll get him closer though, make him bigger. There you go, nice fish though. Second keeper to the fly. Granted, I lost a real big one on a chatterbait.
Yes, you did.
But still, in the boat is in the boat.
Yes.
And so far, numbers and keepers.
I'm doing my best, Nick.
I mean, he's doing his best right here. Granted, I've only been striper fishing for the last week out here. Maury's been on them every day. So maybe we got a timing thing going on. That's my excuse for now. Until I get a bigger one, then all the
Keep them
excuses are
coming.
out. That's a beautiful fish though. Adios, amigo. Oh, that was a solid 8.5, 8.5.
No ripple.
No ripple. Beautiful. All right, guys, I'm switching over to a rattle trap. I got to go with the all-time striper catching machine because it's being tough, and they are chopping Maury's fly, but not doing me very much. Maury, what are you winging your fly on today? That particular fly.
That particular fly, Nick, I'm using a brand new Sage Igniter. It's a fast action fly rod. I'm using an 8-weight. I'm running a Rio Outbound Short S6. It's I would describe it as a fast sinking fly line to get the fly down deep in a hurry. And I'm running a new Galvin grip reel, made right here in Northern California. But the most important thing is the fast action line, or fast action rod, with a fast sinking line that enables me to get the fly into the zone quickly and real exaggerated fast strips with a lot of pauses. Strip, 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 pause, strip,
that faster
pause.
tip's giving it a much more twitchy retrieve instead of just kind of easing into accelerations. It's darting more like a shad.
Right.
Perfect.
And, when we do hook a fish, unlike your rods, we strip set to hook our fish. We don't lift it with the rod.
Right. Just pulling back, coming up a little bit, pulling back.
I like to put, when you get a fish to eat, I hit him once and hit him one more time, and then we bring the rod up and use it as a shock absorber.
Okay, gotcha. Rattle trap fish. Look at the purple all over him. He's not a resident.
A newbie?
Yeah, he's a noob. All right, quick release. I'll take that. Got that heavy overcast to move back in. Sun ducked in behind the clouds. Got a little breeze. Started chasing the birds again.
Fun size.
Yeah, that is the fun size. I'm throwing the big glide bait out there. There's a lot of little stripers pushing bait up right now. There is big stripers in the east that go with these small stripers and they eat them. I figured this out a few years ago that that's all the big stripers are doing is targeting the small stripers. They just hang with them, follow them around and eat them anytime they let their guard down. And I noticed this from a couple of the times trying to take small stripers off outside the boat and big stripers coming up and literally ripping them off my line. Waiting for that consistent boil action where they're just stacked up. If it's in every cast scenario, I'm gonna throw the big bait. But for now, searching them out, having fun with the smaller baits. When they're stacked up and going crazy, I'm gonna throw a big old glide bait in there. We're running along until we see a big grouping of parakeets like this here. The blue, orange, and the fluorescent red ones are a primary that we, generally the stripers, when they're over 10 pounds, they're on the red parakeet or the lovebird. But these standard looking white parakeet right here, these are usually your undersized stripers. Maury's on.
Another 17.
It's gonna open up. It's gonna open up for us.
I'm calling this one 18.
That's a 19. That's a 19 incher. That's positive number 3. Big striper. Right out there. Big one. Unless she's foul hooked, but I know it's a big one either way. Now with these glide baits, you don't land a lot. They come off really easy. I just hope that you guys can see it. Huge swirl right there. Just stay on for me. Stay on.
Wondering what I'm doing here? That's simple. I'm logging a fish catch into the Fat Sack Outdoors online tournament fishing app, where anyone can win an assortment of prizes from gift cards to hundreds of dollars worth of fishing lures. It doesn't matter if you're a boater or a bank banger, so hurry up and download the app to get started today. You ever heard of Cal Coast Fishing's Rod Mule for super convenient rod transfer or storage? And how about the Bait Sack, a puncture-proof, clip-on bait protector that comes in an assortment of sizes? Or maybe you're looking for the best non-puncture culling system with Cal Coast Fishing Clip and Call. And it wouldn't be complete without a money beam. I trust it when money's on the line. And let's not forget the Cali Clip, a super convenient dual-purpose bait clip. Want to find out more? Visit calcoastfishing.com.
Hey guys, Nick the Informative Fisherman here, and when it comes to my hooks, I demand superior craftsmanship, innovative design, and proven success. And that's why I've chose to partner with Mustad Fishing Hooks. With over 180 years in the business, you can't go wrong. So if you don't want to risk losing a big one, I suggest you do the right thing.
Ever tried pulling a planer board next to your boat when trolling or fishing from a swift current bank? If not, you're missing out on one of the most phenomenal fish catching machines on the market today. With Yellowbird planer boards pulling your lines perpendicular to your boat, you can't help but catch more fish. Find out more by visiting www.yellowbirdproducts.com. Did you know that P-Line makes specialized lines for all your fishing needs, from the super strong abrasive resistant CXX or the low stretch super stealthy CX Premium? Or maybe you're looking for invisibility or super bite detection with P-Line's 100% fluorocarbon. No matter what your needs, P-Line's got it covered. To find out more, visit P-Line.com.
P-Line, baby.
Big striper. Right out there. Big one. Unless she's foul hooked, but I know it's a big one either way. Now with these glide baits, you don't land a lot. They come off really easy. I just hope that you guys can see it. Huge swirl right there. Just stay on for me. Stay on. There she is. Ah, she ain't that huge, but she's a good one. Best one so far. I still think that one I had on the chatterbait was bigger. But you can see right here, guys, if you ever fished the East Delta and chase schooling fish, you realize how many undersized you've caught. And you know, there's a lot of fish like this and a heck of a lot bigger over here. They're just preferring to eat stripers, and Maury's hooked up right there. It's a beautiful fish. I'm gonna get her back in and send her on her way. Adios. But that's what you gotta do. You gotta commit, you know. You can bring smaller stuff, and when they're not going crazy, catch them on the smaller stuff, have fun. But when they're going crazy, fish the big stuff. Another beautiful fish. Look at all the purple haze in that fish. That is not a resident.
That's 4th or 5th keeper?
Yep, I think 5. 5 for you. Ooh, he tried to hit my glide right there. Throwing on the sticks. Oh, that was a nice take. Oh, he's off. That was big. That was big. He's off. Oh, that was a big fish. Oh, that's a good one over there too. Oh my gosh, is he on, Maury? Yeah. He's on? Oh, good one. That was beautiful. Beautiful take, Maury. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh my gosh, I bait over there too. I'm not gonna touch the trolling motor. Uh-oh. Come on,
He's off.
Come on under. Oh no. That's okay. I just got smacked with my glide bait sitting right there. That's funny.
That was the best fishing for me for the day.
Yeah, dang it. Yeehaw! Oh, another 4 or 5 pounder. It's all good. We're letting them go either way, but man, that is fun. Telling you guys, just gotta stick to the big baits around these, and oh my gosh, that is really big. That one was really big. Come back, buddy. Okay, that one made my butt cheeks pucker. I'm gonna tell you on that one. You can just see when they move that much water. See right there, only landed one of the 3 big ones that have taken it so far. And you could tell those last 2, I mean, I drugged the 1 4 or 5 pounder ways, but you can see, you know, big round, big fin treble hooks on a big glide bait. There's a lot of leverage for them to throw the bait, but you have to get them worked up. And it's not like a normal largemouth glide bait deal. When they're fired up, I'm ripping it like this with the reel, and I'm increasing the glide distance side to side, and I'm making harder darting movements, making them trigger to think it's a smaller striper letting its guard down. That's when they're keying in on it. So when it makes that darting movement and they hit it, usually the hook's in a funny position, but either way, you're getting them to go. If you land them, you land them. If not, you're still having a ton of fun. Big largemouth.
Nice largemouth. Nice fish.
Oh yeah. Big largie.
Nice fish, Nick.
There we go. Nice largemouth on the glide. So it's really cool to have an expert like Maury Hatch cast at a fly behind you, because you don't ever have to worry about them hitting you in the head or anything. And that's the great part. Where's your bait, Maury? Is it out there?
I'm on!
Fish on? Fish on? What in the world? You can have your lure back.
My bad.
Come on, man. Hey, I flinched a little.
I won't do it again.
I did flinch a little.
I've hit you each once, I'm done.
He's as cold as ice.
Oh, big fish was with this one.
Oh yeah, monsters. Oh yeah. Dude, mine's pretty long. This might be another keeper. He's 17 something, maybe 18. Got one already.
Oh, you got the rat.
Got the rat.
All right, I'm gonna go up. I'm going in deep.
Got him. Oh.
Come on.
Yeah. Woo! Gotta love this action. Oh, another keeper. Look at that beauty. Yeah, Morgan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I want to be throwing a popper on a fly or something. Wow. That's so sick.
There he is. Another one.
Nice. Got another big one? Good?
Another goodie.
Heck yeah. Another one.
Right on, dude.
Spinnerbait fish. Double hookup. Hyacinths, multi-species. We got a water hyacinth, and down, you got to send it down your line to your striper. That's key. There we go.
That's a well-balanced meal.
That is a well-balanced meal. You got a salad on the side, some nice fresh striped bass fillets on the other side. The key is having a well-balanced meal. All right, guys, we're back at the dock. We both got to get to some family duty stuff, so we called it a short day. Maury?
That was epic.
Absolute blast, man. Soon as when it got sunny and calm, you can see that conventional was struggling. I tried to drop down to more natural. I should have got like a translucent jerkbait to try to stay up there with Maury. You can see the clear difference right there, the subtlety and the natural presentation of the fly. Numbers wise, Maury was kicking the crap out of me. But you can see once we had the opportunity to get those bigger batter fish, the conventional took over because I'm able to throw big heavy stuff and pinpoint my targets really well. But all in all, I would say under tough conditions, I think the fly outfishes conventional, man.
For numbers, I think I got you.
Yeah, but I think you absolutely got me. It wasn't even close for numbers.
For quality, I think you got me on that one. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what.
But you caught more keepers.
I did get more keepers.
I lost that big one early in the day, probably around 7-8 pounds, and then caught that last bigger one and lost one about 4 or 5 pounds rolling with my glide bait. But overall, you did put up more keepers. I think you had at least 5 or 6 keepers. So, I mean, what an awesome day, guys. You can see there's advantages to the fly, there's advantages to conventional. The fly is definitely an art. Getting into fly fishing and getting a big fish on a fly rod is an absolute pleasure. I remember sticking some big rainbows and sticking my first striper on a fly rod with you. It's a really, really cool thing. I hear all this time, oh, it's for old guys. No, it's not. I got tons of young, cool buddies up there in Nevada and around Truckee that are awesome fly fishermen. Got Maury right here, a hell of a nice dude. If you guys want to go out and try fly fishing for stripers, you absolutely should. Give Maury a call right here. I'll list his email and everything for you. Come out with this man. He's a good friend. I've known Maury, shoot, quite a while now.
Oh yeah, going on 10 years, I think.
Going on 10 years. It doesn't even seem that long until I look at my beard coming in gray.
Yeah,
all right, guys, appreciate you watching. Make sure to follow us at Informative Fisherman on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.